Okay guys, we've got one little boy that made it past my rigorous test on who gets to leave as a buckling. So it's pretty rare that we let ones go as a buck, because think of it, think of the buck that goes off to sire all of these different does, and that's a lot of genetics getting spread. One buck can spread a lot of genetics, and so you want the best one really to go, and I think he's the best. The reason why is he's out of Daphne and Lancelot. I love Daphne's udder and I love Lancelot's dam's udder. So combined, I think he would make a fantastic little buck. Lancelot's dam is also a Finnish champion. She's won at multiple shows, and she also has a really high linear appraisal score, a really high milk test. Daphne's done really well at shows. She's always been like second, so she hasn't quite gotten her championships, but she's gotten really close. She produces a lot of milk, and I just overall really like her. So this little boy, he's nice and long and level, and he's gonna go as a buck. So he's actually leaving today. He's gonna leave a little bit earlier than we normally do. He's gonna go as a bottle baby, and he's heading off to Texas. So we'll give you updates when he's full grown. Maybe we can get a picture from the owners and give you a cute little buck. Maybe we'll eventually see some of his babies. Before we send them off, he's obviously been desputted. That happens at 1 week old. And then we tattooed his ears. Let's see if I can show it. It's always really hard to show on camera. See that tattoo there? I don't know if you can see it. But he has little tattoos for identification. That is required if they are registered. And he's ready to go. Nice, big, and healthy boy. He's got the goods. So say goodbye to Chunk. He's heading off to his home early. Huh. Good boy. Well, we just sold Daphne's little buckling, and now we're going to sell these two wethers today. We already have somebody that wants to raise some bottle babies, so they're gonna go to their new home, and we'll just have females left. That'll be it for all the males. So we're just waiting on the new owners to show up, giving them a little bit of a bottle, and letting the dogs sniff them. We found this breed is really good with goats, really good with animals, but you know, Casper's still a puppy, and so we just have to remind him that baby goats are not for, you know, chasing or excessively licking or anything. So they definitely, though, these giant schnauzers, they have a herd instinct. They have a herding instinct. So they have like this drive to try to keep them together. I've thought about often trying to like do some herding training with them in case I ever need it. But they definitely like to kind of put all the babies together or put all the goats in one area. They like to herd the chickens too. Goose is a really nice looking boy, but he's not quite up to standards for going as a breeding buck. And same goes for little Petey. Good, but not quite there. It's always sad to add another goat to the barn. I thought these shadow boxes would preserve well, but this one seemed to get a little bit of water. Oh, this was on the outside of the barn. That's why we put it on the outside first. Thank you so much for all of the kind words and messages that you guys sent about Tilly. It's been just sort of strange to not have her on the farm here, and I'm glad that she's not suffering. And it was really enjoyable actually to look back on all of the memories that we have had with Tilly and be able to put them in a compilation to go watch. So now we just have the two retired girls over here in the retirement pen. They'll eventually come out to the pasture here in the summer when we have really high grass that they can eat. But in the meantime, we say goodbye to Tilly and we get back to taking care of everybody else. I snipped a little bit of her goatee hair and put it there in the box. She always had the best goatee of all the goats. Hello! You guys ready for some treats? Watch out. This is the best treat of all. These girls, they love their pellets because they have molasses in them. I know, come here. And molasses is like candy. Oh gosh, to goats, but it's good for them too. They just love it. Luna, be nice. I am so excited for what I'm making today. We've got plenty of eggs in the chicken coop, and in our little mini front yard orchard, we've got fresh lemons. Now, these may look like oranges to you, but that's just because these are Meyer lemons. So Meyer lemons are sort of a cross between a lemon, a mandarin, and a pomelo. So it's sort of this interesting hybrid, but I love them. We've got a nice basket full this year. Then we'll juice them. And if you haven't guessed by now, that's right guys, we are making lemon curd, but an even better version because we're gonna use honey instead of sugar. So we'll start with our egg yolks. We need about 8 of them. Then we need about a cup of honey. And finally, all of that fresh lemon juice. Now we have to settle in for a long winter's night here because this is gonna take a little while. I have the mixture in a glass bowl on top of a saucepan of boiling water, or just below boiling. And then we stir, 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 and you have to switch to a silicone spoon because otherwise you'll get sort of a metallic taste if you stick with a whisk. So we stir, stir, check the temperature, stir, stir, and it goes on and on and on and on and on until we hit about 180 degrees. That's when we know it's going to thicken up once it cools. Now the final part, it's a must. You have to add a few pats of butter. It just makes it so silky smooth. After that, we'll pour it in jars and cool it, and it thickens up just enough, sort of like a jam. It can be used as a filling in cakes, or it can be on top of crepes. And now I need to go make a lot more because, guys, I've got quite a lot of lemons. Well guys, we have a rat problem. Look at that. Caught 2 nasty rats.
We found who's opening all our grain bags and eating all our grain.
Mm-hmm. I hate rats. They're so gross, and they've been getting into our chicken feed and our goat feed.
Yeah,
driving us insane.
Making big holes in the bag all over the ground, losing lots of food.
So, we needed a solution, and Patio Well sent us one.
Oh yeah.
If you guys don't remember, Patio Well is the company that sent us the shoe box that we needed to keep Casper away from all of our shoes. You can get this deal by clicking the link in the description below and using the code WR21 to get 21% off all Patio Well products plus a lifetime warranty. So now that we've got the Casper shoe situation taken care of, now we need to take care of the grain situation.
Yeah,
the rat problem.
Yes.
So Kevin got to work on our new shed.
This was the perfect solution for our feed storage because it's 1, incredibly durable, 2, it's made from recyclable material, 3, its setup is easy because it uses 20% less screws than the other sheds. They have this one-piece panel design that made it really easy for me to put up. If you learn better by video instruction, you can scan the QR code on the box and watch a video on how to set it up.
If you purchase with our code, you'll get a lifetime warranty on any Patio Well product, which is really cool. They have metal sheds, plastic sheds, or deck boxes, all to make your patio and yard organized and free of clutter. They have nice large 10x8, 10x10, or 10x12 metal sheds, and their new plastic sheds as well, depending on your needs. We gotta take the tags off, Kevin Wolford.
Ooh, that's...
All right, here's the reveal.
Has a window to
wow.
get your light in there.
Yeah, it has a little vent. That's cool.
Yeah. It's really good for storing anything like bikes or, you know, ladders or even dogs. Come on.
She doesn't want it.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come.
He's scared. It would be a good house for them to sleep in out in the pasture for sure. Yeah.
Ta-da!
We still have a ton more space, so that's nice.
Yeah.
Now we can stock up.
Alright.
And no rats are gonna get it.
Special anti-rat carabiner.
You can get this deal by clicking the link in the description below and using our code WR21 to get 21% off all Patio Well products plus a lifetime warranty. Well guys, it just isn't a beautiful morning without Winona screaming her face off. What am I gonna do with this goat? Hold on. This is your stall right here. No, come here. That's yours. Filter in here. Close it up. Stick it on the bucket. Put the bucket down here. Close. Still itchy from all the pollen in the air, so I gotta wear gloves. They carry so much pollen on them and make my hands so itchy. Here you go. And a little baby scoop for you. I swear, Honey puts on so much weight no matter what I feed her or if I don't feed her. So you get the amount of grain based off how much milk you produce. Winona's a high producer, so she gets lots of grain, and Honey is not a high producer, so she gets a very little amount of grain. It's hard for me to milk from the other side of the goat. It's like my brain can't do it. Alright guys, it's time to assess udders and to decide who's staying, who's going. We have a lot of decisions to make this year. Winona produces a ton of milk. I just wish that she had a little bit better side attachments that would hold it up. But dang, does this girl produce a lot of milk. I'll post the numbers of what all the girls produced on their last milk test, and she won. Winona definitely won. We do milk testing every year to test like the quality of the milk, but also to test the volume and see how they measure up against basically all the other goats in the US that are on milk testing. So it's really nice to be able to compare and see like how your girls measure up to everybody else and if they've done well enough to earn their milking star. They can only earn 1 star in their whole life, and you really want them to earn it their first year. That's a really good indication that they have good production. So that's always the goal with the first fresheners. Test their milk and hopefully get them their milking star on their first year. Go over so we can see your udder. It's just like, this is what's so hard about raising goats, because you have one that produces a lot of milk and has perfect teat placement but just isn't quite socked on. Then you have this who is socked on. Look at this. She's got the side attachment, she's socked on. But it's little, it's itty bitty. Oh gosh. So on the last test, Honey was the lowest, which shouldn't happen because she's the biggest, eats the most food. She should produce the most milk. So it's tough. I really like Honey as a person. I really like her. She's a good girl. But I have to make decisions based on like who is going to be a good breeding doe. So I've decided I'm not going to be sentimental with Tilly and her being Tilly's daughter. So even though I know that Honey will probably do better next year, maybe not, because Tatum really didn't do that much better, but maybe she'll do a little bit better next year. It's just that I have to think about the kids that I'll produce by doing that. And every time you produce kids, you have to find homes for the kids. You can't keep every goat. So it's kind of a tough decision, because if I keep honey for another year breeder again, then I've got more kids to sell that I'm not sure people will want, because they're not really milking does that can produce milk. So I think I've come to the decision that honey is best as a pet. She's a really sweet doe. I just don't think that somebody should keep breeding her and keep breeding her. But that's why we're excited to keep Cricket, right? Because Cricket is out of honey and honey's out of Tilly. So if we keep breeding these does to bucks with good udders, eventually we've got to change the udder. Eventually we're going to improve it. I just know it. Tilly came from one of the oldest lines of Nigerian dwarf goats. She's kind of from one of the original lines that came over to the US back in the 1980s. So yeah, that's why she's so set back as far as milk production goes, because the breed has improved a lot over the years. And I think it's just kind of interesting to show how short or how long it takes to improve an udder. Can it be done in one generation? Not really. So we're hoping it can be done in 2 generations. So we've got Cricket now. Maybe Cricket will be our ticket, our golden ticket. I should have named it that. Our lottery ticket. So I think honey's gonna be the first one, the first cut of the year, just as far as not being able to improve genetics. She would be much better off as a pet. She likes to eat. She likes her food, guys. Let me get your food. Hold on one second. Now these girls both produce a lot of milk as well for their size. River's a little bit smaller, but she produces a lot for her size. So they both get full scoop. Reva's only problem is that this side is bigger, because last year a buck kid went to town on this side. He loved this side. So this one, no, it was opposite. He loved this side, so he stimulated it a bunch. And this side just hasn't been able to keep up, even though that was last year. So, gotta try to make them even. That's my goal this year, is trying to make them as even as possible. We'll see if we can fix it. You would think just like milk this side more, but it doesn't work like that. It's crazy. Once her udder decides it only needs one side filled, it like seems to stay like that. Udder problems, you know? So what I've been doing is draining it until this side is done. And then stopping. Like if I can't stimulate this side more, then I'm gonna tell this side doesn't need to make as much. So I just milk until this side is done. Get it? It's the whole thing. I think that that's good. That's it. A couple more out of her. Okay, we want to stimulate this side. We want this side to not produce as much. I think we're almost there. Dang bucklings. Those bucklings can get real aggressive and choose a side. I mean, doelings can do it too, but that buckling that year, what was his name? I know the doeling was Rosie. Rosie and, was it Rocky? I think it was Rocky. Dang Rocky. And welcome to the most beautiful udder we've ever seen. Guys, we love this udder. We love River. She's the best personality and the best udder. I mean, gold mine. Let's get over just a little bit. Oh my gosh, look how socked on that is. Just completely socked on up there, producing a really good amount for her size. I mean, just loving her. So this year with River, our goal is to just get her to grow and develop and give her all the nutrition that she needs to just mature into a beautiful doe. So I ran a fecal on her, making sure that she has no worms, making sure that she's got everything, you know, good to go. We've got minerals, we've got the whole gamut. She is from a little bit of a slow maturing line, so she'll probably mature a little later, obviously, than everybody else, but I love her. She's just so great. Definitely one of the favorites, for sure. She's also just so nice to hand milk. Just the sweetest little girl. Now, last year Daphne had so much milk. She like broke records. But I think it was because she had 5 and her body was like, we gotta produce lots of milk. This year she had 2, but basically 1 because the little one, you know, little Nubs was kind of just a runt, so I'm not even sure if her body was preparing for that little guy. So still a great udder. I love Daphne's udder, but I don't think she's gonna produce as much this year. So, I mean, she does really good, but not like massive like it was last year. Still love it though. And I still love her even though she's a little bit loud. She's not that bad. She's actually pretty doable, pretty sweet. Best thing about Daphne is she milks down to a rag. They always say that's the best udder. Those are the best udders, the one that milk completely out and it looks like a limp rag. So Daphne will go on milk tests this year, but not really to earn her star, just to track her milk production. Well done. A few people have asked how our bucket works and why the nipples are so far up. Well, that's because there are little straws inside with the milk at the bottom, see that? So all we do is fill that up, and as long as those straws are at the bottom, then the babies get the milk. That is a lot of milk this morning. Whoa. All right, let's go feed those babies. Oh, I gotta let Daphne out first. Come on. Good girl. Oh, look at those little tails wagging. It's so cute. Only does that are left, and Cricket still does the thing where she tries to knock them off. Look, they've all got the milk they're sucking up. Oh, you're gonna have to suck that one up then. It's a pretty good little system. You can buy this online, but works really well. It's good for feeding them really fast. Look how big they're all getting. Junebug, Cricket, Kitty, Wednesday, Twyla, no wait, that's Birdie, Twyla, Wednesday, and Duchess. That's enough. That's enough milk. Enough. Eat some hay now. They all go straight to the hay. Look at all those little butts. But I love to see them eating hay because there's that transition period where they're getting weaned right now. We're gonna slowly reduce the amount of milk that they eat, and then they'll increase the amount of hay. Hey, what happened to your head? Come here. How come that's all bloody? Almost every time after we disbud, the hair just grows over like this. Don't see it. But sometimes they fight or rub. We gotta check on that. Come on. Let's check it. What's going on? Looks like she just fought with somebody. So we're gonna use this spray. It's really hard to do myself. Let's see if I can do it. Aim. Okay, I know. Feels cold. Let's do the other one just for good measure. This is so hard to do myself. All right, I gotta put you on the ground. So sad. All better. Couple little streaks, but we're fine. You know what I wish? I wish there was a way to tell what kind of udder they would have at a young age, but you can't really. You can just make sure they have 2 teats, which she does, and make sure, you know, there's no abnormalities, but you can't know until you breed them, which is so sad. I wish I knew. I really like this year's batch of girls. Twyla over there was obviously purchased, but all the other ones look so nice. I love Cricket, Duchess, Birdie, Junebug, she's a good one. Wednesday, Kitty over there. I like them all. But we'll have Kitty, Junebug, and Birdie down here. They will be the ones leaving us. And then we'll have just 4 to raise up. We have a whole system for cleaning out the milking machine. We just run a cleaning solution through it, and we use hot water from the kettle mixed with a cleaning solution. It's actually more of warm water because we put some cold water in there, so not too hot. Then we turn it on and suck it all up. We're done until tonight.